feel included, they feel valued, and they feel part of a cohesive team.
The chief also checks another box when it comes to inclusivity and diversity at this department. She's a proud member of the LGBTQ community.
That just kind of opens the door of people that thought, wow, I didn't even know that that was an opportunity for me.
We are hosting our new employee orientation, and our focus is to teach our new employees for them to understand cultural competency, identify implicit and unconscious bias, and be aware of the importance of us having a diverse and inclusive workforce.
I welcome all of you in this room to join, whether you're LGBTQ plus or not, or you're just an ally, you have family members, anybody that's willing to engage and learn and grow from the opportunities that this experience has presented me with.
Department, we are so proud of our mission, which is to be proud protectors of life, the environment, and property. If you want more information about our department, please visit us at fire.lacounty.gov.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, California is on fire. And if the taste of that is unpalatable to you, or you think that I'm being too crude, or you're saying, well, what about those poor people, those poor innocent people? You have to have compassion and empathy. No, you absolutely don't. These people voted for this. These people have voted for the same corrupt, inept, left-wing, degenerate, disgusting people over and over. These are the people that have spent years looking down on flyover America. These are the people that think that they can do everything better. And I know because I used to live there. For a long number of years, I used to live in California. So I know the area better than most. And what I can tell you is that these smug assholes, they genuinely have contempt for people who are from, the rural parts of America. They think that they can do it better. Well, guess what? Now your state looks like the place that you're all going. And the reality is that you don't even have the ability at this point to admit that you were wrong, because now you freaks are actually trying to blame Trump. Meanwhile, where's your mayor? Where's your mayor? Oh, she's in Ghana. Why? Because she flew to Ghana in order to promote the LGBTQ, cause. And when she's asked, like, hey, do you have anything to say to the American people, to your constituents? Do you have anything to say? This woman just remains silent, because that's what these people do. They're all in it for themselves. They don't give a shit about people. They don't care about they don't care about you or your loss. Everything's about them. This woman treats this reporter like he's just a minor hindrance. Like, people are losing their livelihoods, but you voted for this animal. You voted for this. If you're in California, you voted for this. You voted for years of incompetence. Your state is such an embarrassment that you can't even get elections done within a night. Look at Florida. Florida, they can get their elections done within a couple hours. It is corruption. It is negligence. It is incompetence. And, this person says, demand that Mayor Karen resign. Yeah, if Karen Bass resigns, guess what? Somebody equally incompetent will take her place. This is the state that said, you know what? You can't arrest people if they steal under $900 worth of stuff. Everything about liberals and Democrats and these people, everything about them is broken, wrong, disgusting, degenerate, twisted, foul, unctuous. And now they're living in the hell that they've created. And I'm supposed to come before you and say, you know what? thoughts and prayers and all this stuff. And here's the deal. I used to live in California. I know good people in California. I don't want to see them lose their stuff. But when you have the same problem happen, I remember when I was growing up, wildfires were a problem. When I went through middle school and high school, wildfires were a problem. When I went to college fires were, college fires, wildfires were a problem. This is avoidable. And I don't even know if I can, actually I am. I'm going to bring up a video from Asmongold, of all people, talking about this wildfire. And I think that it's important that you understand that even somebody like Asmongold, even people who don't know anything about politics or really anything about anything outside of gaming, even they can immediately identify the problem and understand that there's an issue. And so we look at these videos, we look at these clips, and you can see this is what California is right now. And why is California like this? Why are they going through this? They're going through this because their leadership is inept. Their leadership is comprised of people who were elected based on the good-sounding, disgusting filth that we talk about all the time. And if you want to know why I'm pissed, it's because for years I've been sounding about all of these different problems and how disgusting these people are. For years I've been talking about it, wanting to avoid things like this, wanting to put the world back and make it sane again. But every time the people that voted in the individuals that helped cause this with their negligence and incompetence, every time they'd say, oh, you're just a bigot. You're just a racist. You're just a xenophobe. You're an Islamophobe. You're a phobe. You're an ist. You're this. You're that. So I got to tell you, I don't want this to happen to anyone. I don't want anyone to lose their home. But this is sort of a thing of after you've told the kid not to put his hand on the stove for the 10th time, well, he's putting his hand on the stove the 11th time. So now you're looking at it going, all right, I told you so. The compassion and the empathy is not gone, but it's diminished every time that we tell you this and you don't listen. Electing Democrats is always a bad proposition. That's not to say that Republicans are always the solution. But Democrats continuously, in every state, in every city that they're elected, they make everything worse. Some of you may not want to hear it, but it's the truth. Republicans, at the very least, are lily-livered, and they will be weak. Democrats will be corrupt. It's what they are. It's in their nature. And so, now we're at a point where you have California burning. People losing their homes, people losing their lives, and it is absolutely negligence and incompetence and greed and corruption that is responsible for this. And yeah, I'm pissed. I'm pissed because I know people. I mean, they evacuated, but it doesn't change that they lost a lot of their stuff. It affects them in a major way. I have family there. I don't want anything bad to happen to anyone there. You know, they're basically doing this to themselves. There's no water in the fire hydrants. The fires are being allowed to just burn uncontrolled because a bunch of hippie, disgusting, degenerate freaks, the same people that think that they can tell us how to live our lives, and the same people that think that they can dictate to us what good media is, what good entertainment is, what you should be allowed to view on your screen, these same disastrous human beings are now lecturing you and telling you what you need to do, in response to, coming up with a reaction to this. And my answer is absolutely not. So we take a look at, this is the current state of California. And all of this is avoidable. And do you know who knew about this? Donald Trump. When he went on the Joe Rogan Experience and he called it out and he talked about it. Let's see if I can't find California fires Trump.
Now we're permitting and cleaning up these forests so it will reduce the threat of forest fire as well as creating jobs in these communities.
We have to do that in California, by the way.
Yes, sir.
California's a mess. We're giving billions and billions of dollars for forest fires in California. There's no reason for those fires to be like that.
This was during Trump's first term, by the way. They've had years to fix this.
They are. They're leaving them dirty. It's a disgraceful thing. Old trees are sitting there rotting and dry, and instead of cleaning it up, they don't touch them. They leave them, and we end up with these massive fires that we're paying hundreds of billions of dollars for to fix, and the destruction is incredible. So I think California ought to get their act together and clean up their forests and manage their forests because it's disgraceful. What's happening should never happen. I go all over the country and I meet with governors. The first thing they say is there's no reason for forest fires like that in California. So I say to the governor or whoever's going to be the governor of California, you better get your act together because California, we're just not going to continue to pay the kind of money that we're paying because of fires that should never be to the extent. They were telling me in a couple of states, I won't even mention their name, it's like a flash. Some grass will burn. It'll be over in minutes. They'll lose 2 acres, 3 acres. At the most, they won't even lose that. And here we are with thousands of acres and billions of dollars every year. It's the same thing every year. And they don't want to clean up their forests because they have environmental problems in cleaning it up. It should be the opposite because you're going to lose your forests. You're losing them. But it's costing our country hundreds of billions of dollars because of incompetence in California. So the people, I'm speaking now for the people of California, they don't want to see this happen. They're getting destroyed.
Well, apparently they do because they voted it in. Democrats are the greatest threat to anything that they're attached to. They're just the greatest threat. When you let them into the halls of power, they make things worse. And again, when people hear me criticize Democrats, they think, oh, well, you just think that Republicans are the answer. No, I'm critical of Republicans too. But Republicans, the track record that they have is so much better than the Democrats that it's honestly not even worth bringing them up in the same breath. It's stunning to me that we're still having this conversation. And Donald Trump went on the Joe Rogan Experience. And people mocked him. They mocked him for talking about the California wildfires and the water crisis. And here's Gavin Newsom saying, oh, Trump blamed you for this. Oh, I don't even know what to say. Here's Trump again talking about this. Trump goes on for a long time talking about the problems in California. And the media tries to cover it up because they hate Trump. They don't like him. They want to make him look bad. And here you have again another example of Donald Trump coming out to say that they need to get their shit together. For the sake of a tiny fish, they have no water in the fire hydrants. Democrats and DEI have killed people and cost them their homes, their livelihoods, their jobs. It is absolutely unacceptable to continue on and just ignore this and put your head in the sand and pretend that it's a problem other than what it is. These people are all Democrats, and they have failed time and time again, and there's no excuse because they knew what the problem was. Bernie Sanders coming out and being more based on a lot of the stuff. He blames climate change because Bernie has to steal defeat from the jaws of victory. But it's not climate change. It's Democrat incompetence. Donald Trump, what about Joe Biden? Yeah, I know you're old, but Donald Trump has to deal with this? What about Gavin Newsom? Blazes 0% contained. So this is what Democrats do. This is what Democrats do. I think Bernie says some stuff that's right from time to time, but he coats it with this shit. You've got a Democrat mayor. You've got a Democrat fire chief. You've got a Democrat governor. You've got a Democrat president. You have Democrats still in control for the next 11 days. Joe Biden is still president for the next 11 days. And they want to blame Donald Trump. This is a failure of California, Californians, everyone who votes for a Democrat in California, everyone who votes for the soft on crime, weak leftist approach, they are culpable in this. Because this was avoidable. Donald Trump called this out for years. Years. Donald Trump says, Governor Gavin Newsom refused to sign the Water Restoration Declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snowmelt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California, including the areas that are currently burning in a virtually apocalyptic way. He wanted to protect an essentially worthless fish called the smelt by giving it less water. It didn't work, but didn't care for the people of California. Now the ultimate price is being paid. I demand that this incompetent governor allow beautiful, clean, fresh water to flow into California. He is the blame for this. On top of it, no water for fire hydrants, no firefighting planes, a true disaster. Absolutely. And that's why people say, aren't you being a little bit harsh? Or aren't you being a little bit... No. This was before the election. Donald Trump was talking about this before the election, and they did nothing. They mocked him. Well, guess what? Guess what? Hollywood is on fire. It's burning down. People are dead. It's costing billions of dollars in damage. And the media is still playing this. Well, it's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault. Trump criticized me. Trump has been criticizing you for months. Democrats continue to hire the worst and the most incompetent people, and they talk about, look at this shift. It doesn't matter. It's still overwhelmingly Democrat because these people want this. They want these policies. They want these politics. Well, guess what? The consequences of your actions have come home to roost, and unfortunately, and I mean this unfortunately, this is the result. This is what we tried to warn you about. We tried to tell you this was going to happen. This was, when did he go on the Joe Rogan Experience? It was like a week or two before the election. That was at the end of October 2024. They had plenty of time if they wanted to clean this up, but no, they wanted to go and they wanted to have some DEI woke, they wanted to have some DEI woke fire chief. I mean, this thing is absolutely disgusting.
He is in it, man. I'm surprised he's not wearing a mask.
But let me give you one that you may not know.
Okay.
Which I think you know everything, actually, as a student of yours. but water, in Los Angeles, you can't get proper amounts of water.
Right.
And it's unbelievably expensive. And you might have a house in Beverly Hills, and they're actually thinking about rationing water. Can you believe it?
I can believe
And
it.
I was in the farm court country with some of the congressmen. We're driving up a highway, and I say, how come all this land is so barren? It's farmland, and it looked terrible. It was just brown and bad. I said, but there's always that little corner that's so green and beautiful. They said, we have no water. I said, do you have a drought? No, we don't have a drought. I said, why don't you have no water? Because the water isn't allowed to flow down. It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north of water, more water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish, the water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water gets poured. You got to see this. We're driving up, and I had never seen it before.
Is this the fish?
It smelled.
Man, fuck him.
Yep.
And fuck that fish. Like, yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you talking about that fish for?
Unbelievable.
The fuck to say about it?
So we're going to watch another little part of this where Asmongold reacts to the reality of the DEI element into California as it relates to firefighting.
But there could be a permit. Fire crews are a thing, but mostly voluntarily.
I'm super inspired.
She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I say, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
Out of 3,300 city firefighters, only 115 are women right now. She's already looking at ways to change that. She's quick to point out that doing so has a greater purpose, attracting the best and brightest for the job.
They feel included, they feel valued, and they feel part of a cohesive team.
The chief also checks another box when it comes to inclusivity and diversity at this department. She's a proud member of the LGBTQ community.
That just kind of opens the door of people that thought, wow, I didn't even know that that was an opportunity for me. I'm super.
Well, how about that?
It gets worse, by the way.
Well, they gotta. I don't know.
We are hosting our new employee orientation, and our focus is to teach our new employees for them to understand cultural competency, identify implicit and unconscious bias, and be aware of the importance of us having a diverse and inclusive workforce.
Diversity is important because the different people bring different lenses to their job, and those different ideas, those different lenses are important to have the best practices for our industry.
Well, apparently not. Apparently diversity is not our strength because you have one of the most incompetent governments, you have one of the most incompetent firefighting teams, you are ill-prepared, you don't have water, you have basically messed up in every conceivable way, and guess what? To top it all off, now you're going to try to lecture people about how it's somebody else's fault. No, the buck stops with you. Your diversity shit is killing people. It is an absolute mess. It is an evil, and it needs to be purged from the planet post-haste.
We have people here from hazmat. We have dispatchers in the room. We have people that are responsible for financial management. We have our information management division, and also from human resources. So we have a variety of professionals that are receiving this training.
We teach people how to deal with conflict responsively, how to have challenging conversations.
Every one of these people that have talked about diversity, equity, and inclusion, they should be in prison right now. They should be rounded up and thrown into jail. The governor, the mayor, all of them should be in jail. This is criminally negligent. This is astonishing. You have a fire department and you are wasting their time with implicit bias training? Are you insane? Yes, you are. You are insane. And you're evil. All of this to perpetuate your your own personal issues, your insecurities, your inferiorities, your complexes, all that, to try to mask your corruption and your incompetence behind this sort of facade.
Down stereotypes, and learn more about cultural competence. And so we do this by working to advance equity throughout community partners and internal departments within Los Angeles County.
Man.
I welcome all of you in this room to join, whether you're LGBTQ plus or not, or you're just an ally, you have family members, anybody that's willing to engage and learn and grow from the opportunities that this experience has presented me with.
The Los Angeles County Fire Department would be recognized nationally and possibly even globally as an agency that was very serious about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and
yeah,
I can see that.
Made some substantive changes so that everybody could feel safe and feel included.
On behalf of LA County.
Well, now nobody feels safe. And you should be included in the list of people that should be prosecuted and charged for this scam, for this crime against the American people.
Fire Department, we are so proud of our mission, which is to be proud protectors of life, the environment, and property. If you want more information about our department, please visit us at fire.lacounty.gov.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Well, yeah, what they mean by fire department is they want to have as many fires as possible, right?
They want as many people fired as possible. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Yeah, this is heartbreaking. It's terrible to see. But I think at this point, tough love needs to be the name of the game. We've pussyfooted around this. We've been too compassionate, too empathetic. This continues to happen over and over. I remember it happening when I was growing up multiple times. And enough is enough. You people have voted this in. You have allowed incompetence. You vilified other people because you didn't want to accept the fact that your utopia is a load of horseshit, and now you are reaping the consequences of your actions. We don't want this to happen to you, but my God. Even Donald Trump figured this out on the Joe Rogan Experience. You have no excuse for people that think that you're smarter and better than everyone else, which we know that you're not. We know that that's a cope. You're the most corrupt. You're the most incompetent, you're the most vain, you're the most demonic, you're the most degenerate, you're the most absolutely broken state in the union. And think about how many broken states that encompasses. But this is your thing to deal with now. And hopefully, maybe, you get off your ass in 2022, or, 2026 and 2028, vote out these Democrats. Get some people in there that gives a damn about American people, California. You're a sanctuary state, for God's sake. Everything about you is broken and damaged and diseased and disgusting. Maybe it's time you clean up your act and get your shit together. That'll do it. See you next time.